Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make this pastel rose and gold leaf cake. Putting a little bit of buttercream on the board to attach my 6-inch mud cake. And applying some vanilla buttercream on the top of this cake, just spreading it out to the sides. Making sure it's nice and flat, and then applying my second layer of cake. Here I've used two 6-inch cakes, both cut in half, so I have 4 layers in total. And I'm just continuing those steps up the whole cake. The very last layer is the bottom of the cake that I turned upside down to make sure the top is flat. Now I'm just creating a crumb coat, so that's going to trap any crumbs up against the cake, and that way they don't make it into our final layer of frosting. So I'm adding that to the top, pushing it out to the sides, and then adding a whole bunch of frosting to the side of the cake as well, trapping in any crumbs, and removing the excess, flattening out the top, and then popping that into the freezer for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to apply my last layer of frosting. So this is going to be a very generous layer, but then I'm going to be removing most of it anyway. So right up at the top and over to the sides as well, fill in any spaces, making sure you can get it as neat and even as possible. And then go in with your bench scraper and scrape off all the excess. And you'll keep going around the cake up until you're happy with the smoothness of the cake. You can see here it's reduced a lot in size. Then take your spatula and just bring that excess frosting to the center of the cake and clean up your cake board. I'll pop that into the fridge for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, I'll prepare my fondant decorations. I've got some rose molds here. Putting in some red fondant and just popping those out. You might need to use some cornstarch to make sure they don't stick. And here I have a light turquoise colored fondant, and I'm just rolling it out with my silicone rolling pin. Roll it out to about 3 millimeters in thickness, 2 to 3 millimeters, and keep rotating your fondant as you roll to make sure it doesn't stick to your counter. Then once it's the right thickness, drape it over your cake, secure the top and the very edges, and then to stick your fondant to the cake, just flap out those folds and press onto the cake in a downward motion to make sure you don't trap any air. Then take your fondant smoother and smooth the edges and the top as well. And here I'm just creating some sharp edges by rotating my fondant smoothers up against each other really tightly to kind of pinch that fondant. And then smooth it all off once you're happy with the sharpness of your edges. Trim off the excess at the bottom. And your cake is ready to decorate. So I've taken some gold leaf here, I'm just popping it onto the cake. You could use your finger, or you could always just kind of go straight on with the packaging and just stick your gold leaf on that way. I bought this gold leaf on eBay. It's a Thai gold leaf. I've eaten it many a times. I'm still alive. I kind of find that this is a cheap alternative, and it's actually not too bad at all. Then pop on your little roses. Now to pop those onto your fondant cake, you could apply them with a little bit of water if they're not sticking. My cake has just a little bit of moisture on it, so it's sticking really nicely. Now to make the leaf tip, I've got a regular piping bag, folding the tip in half, cutting it at an angle so we have like an inward triangle kind of slit, and that pipes out little leaf shaped frosting. As you can see here, I'm adding just 1 leaf per little rose. And then for the last detail, I've got some gold coloured fondant with some Americolor gel food colour gold. And then pop that into your pearl mold and cut off the excess. And then turn that upside down and just press out your little pearls. Kind of spreading back the mold as you go as well, just to loosen it up, and then attach it directly onto your cake with a little bit of water. Then I'm going to paint that in with some gold paint here, some metallic light gold by Rainbow Dust. And that's why I coloured my fondant pearls gold initially, that way it colours a lot easier and just looks a lot neater this way compared to if you were to paint on white fondant. And you're done! That's how you make a floral pastel cake decorated with gold leaf. It's actually a very easy cake to make. It looks really effective. I can't really place the genre here. I wanted to say kind of like a vintage cake, but it's not quite vintage. It's still pretty modern. But I'm going to go with pastel floral cake with gold leaf. And this is featuring my little Forever Starts Here topper. A quick thank you to Sam P, the amazing graphic designer who brought this little design to life, among others that I'll have featured in this video and in future videos. If you would like to purchase the topper, I'll have a link for you in the description box below this video. And if you're watching from your computer, you can click on the little topper right now and it'll take you straight to the website. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this really easy tutorial and I'll catch you next time.